What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shooky from Shook Earth Media, and we are back again with episode 2 of Better Call Saul Season 6, the final season of the Breaking Bad franchise ever, potentially. And it's another fantastic episode. We're going to run through all the happenings and speculate on what's going to happen next. I'm really excited about this season. It's as good as I expected it to be, so I'm really happy. So we're just gonna jump right into it. This opening teaser here has Mike and Tyrus and Gus's company coming into Nacho's place. I'm surprised now that I see this scene that I didn't recognize this from the trailer. This is Nacho's place, and there's these two girls here. My camera is covering it right now, but we got these two girls here who were hanging out with Nacho in previous seasons. I don't know if it was last season or the season before, but they're really strung out. It's kind of funny playing with dominoes. They're good character actors, so great performances as always. Now, Mike gets them to leave. Mike is, of course, playing the nice guy. He gives them money and tells them to relocate and get out of here because he knows what's coming, and they are looking for something. They find a safe, and they crack it open, and Mike finds the two, there's two IDs there. I don't know if these are fake IDs. Maybe it's like a backup plan for Nacho if he needs to escape real quick or something like that. But they crack open the safe, and then they get another new safe with the exact same dimensions, so it looks the same. They crack it open, but they put in a sheet of paper that leads the Salamanca straight to Nacho, and I find this interesting. I'm not exactly sure the reasoning behind that. Definitely hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think and all that. And I realize now that this guy, I think this is Tyrus, I believe, on the left here. And the guy who was on the phone with Nacho is this guy. So it was Gus's people that were in touch with Nacho and trying to help him out. But now they want to lead the Salamancas to them. I'm wondering what the thinking is behind that. Maybe I just need to think about it again and watch this some more and understand it better. But that's what happens in this opening scene. Very interesting teaser, and I'm really liking these teasers. They're always really strong, and they throw us into a situation, and we kind of have to catch ourselves up as it goes. So I'm really digging it, and it's just another fantastic start to another amazing episode. And now we get Saul and Kim here, and at first it sounds like Saul's pitching Kim a commercial for his lawyer services. He's telling a story about somebody getting hurt on the job and all of that, but it actually turns out that they're hatching another plan. This is to deal with the Howard situation. They're trying to besmirch Howard's good name, of course, and make him look like a drug addict to everybody so that they can force a settlement so they get paid early, basically. With the settlement with the elder law thing from previous seasons, they're trying to get that money earlier so that Kim can do more pro bono work, etc., etc. So they are trying to hatch a plan to get somebody who looks like a potential client to go into Davison, Maine, and pitch and throw into the conversation that Howard is a drug addict, or that they believe Howard to be a drug addict, but they don't want it to be good enough of a case that Maine takes the case. They want it to be good enough that he takes the meeting, but not good enough that anything further would come of it. So it's really smart writing, and as always, very, very interesting. So, but this is the surprise return of the Kettlemans, which I was certainly not expecting. They have a tax service now that it turns out is actually a scam. But I never thought we'd see these two again. I'm happy to see these two. I really love this dynamic, and the married couple dynamic is hilarious. Of course, we have Mrs. Kettleman just completely hating Jimmy from the start and telling him instantly to get out, and then she tries to get her husband to back her up, and he's happy to see Jimmy for some reason, and I really love this dynamic here. If you guys don't remember, in the first season, this guy embezzled a lot of money. He was a treasurer, and he embezzled a lot of money, and then got caught and went to jail for it. And there was various schemes going on with Jimmy. He was trying to get their money in a way, but we don't need to go too into detail about that. But it was really nice to see them again, and it's hilarious. I love their dynamic. It's so great. But Jimmy, is using the Kettlemans for the plan earlier. Instead of getting a random person to play a potential client for Davis and Maine, they're getting these guys, and it's so genius. I really love it. Now, in this scene outside, which I love the writing in this scene, it's so funny. But what's funny to me watching this scene is the lighting did not cooperate with with the director and everybody. I think this shot might be a green screen. I don't know. Well, let me know what you guys think. I think that close-up shot is a green screen. The rest of it is on location. But on this side of the building, it's all really shiny and bright, sunny, I mean, and then on the other side of the building, it's much more cloudy and looks like a storm is building. So maybe that's why they had to shoot it on different sides of the building. So they went from one side to the other side just to make it look like time has passed, or maybe they had to reshoot part of it. I don't know, it's just funny to me the weather didn't cooperate. This always happens when you're filming outside. I just thought it was funny, but this scene is absolutely hysterical. I love this interaction. Jimmy plays them like a fiddle, and it is so great to see. I absolutely love it. And then one of the best parts is when he has them sign these contracts that say they're going to work with him, and he turns around and has them sign on his back. That's so funny. I love that part. And of course, we got Jimmy all satisfied with himself. He pretends to be disappointed at first, and then you see the actual satisfaction on his face. Amazing acting. Bob Odenkirk killing it as always. Just an incredible performance. And now we got these tension-filled scenes with Nacho. It's a lot of this episode. It's really quiet, this part of the episode, but yet it's so captivating because you're just feeling that paranoia that he's feeling. You feel the performance. It's really strong. He's getting frustrated waiting in this hotel for something to happen, and he's starting to suspect that things are not what they seem to be, that the person on the phone, who turns out to be Tyrus, thanks to somebody in the comment section of my previous video mentioned that, and I'm pretty sure he's right. So that's Tyrus on the phone, and I love this scene and the tension that builds up. He suspects that there's somebody in this building watching him, and he is correct, but of course it takes him a while to prove that for certain. Somebody working at the motel gives him food. He opens the door to find out that there is a person there. But that happens later in the episode. I'm just getting to it now so we could skip through that part. And of course, we get this meeting with the Kettlemans here, and it goes exactly how Jimmy wanted. And this is a fun scene too. And just that dynamic, how the husband is always playing second fiddle and she's like leading the charge and everything. I just love their dynamic so much. It's so hilarious. The comedy really comes through, so I really like that. Now we have this scene here where we have Hector and Gus meeting, and there's this neutral third party. They're trying to keep the peace and say, hey, an attack on one is an attack on all, and all that. And Hector reaches out his hand, and then he gives Gus a look it's almost like a look of satisfaction and suspicion. It's a knowing look, and Gus realizes that Lalo is alive, and that Hector knows and Lalo knows that it was him. So there's a lot of information exchanged in just one glance, and it comes across perfectly. Directing, writing, and performances, all great. So that is what's going on in that scene. And then we have the Salamancas at Nacho's place, and they're breaking into the safe as well. They find what was planted in there, which has the phone number to the motel where Nacho is staying, and it has the phone number for the motel rather, and it also has some kind of bank statement or something. So yeah, I'm not sure why it helps them to bring the Salamancas into this situation, but I don't know. I'm sure it'll make sense, or I just need to think about it some more. But we get this really great scene where, he realizes there's somebody in that building. He breaks him out. He breaks out of the hotel, sneaks out the back. He breaks the air conditioning. But I just love the atmosphere here. Great sound design. The heat, we do a lot of things to establish that it's really hot. And you just feel it watching it. So very atmospheric show. That's one of the best things about Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul is how atmospheric it is. I really like the tension of this standoff here, and he cracks the case. He realizes that the person he's been talking to on the phone, Gus's people, is also the guy who's is also hiring the guy watching him. And then we got amazing shootout scene where the Salamancas pull up and they realize Nacho's here. They're searching every room for him, and he shoots back at them. And I really love the action scene here. My only minor caveat is that there's a point where the twins are they're standing in front of the vehicle, and he's shooting at them. I don't know, he misses a lot, I guess, and they're not worried about getting shot. That's the one thing where I was like, aren't they worried about getting shot? Maybe they should. I know they want to look badass and stuff, but I just feel like, there's a guy here. They shoot their own guy because he's shooting at Nacho, and they need him alive because they need proof so that they can get the higher-ups on board with taking out Gus, basically. So I really love that dynamic, and that's just my only thing with the he's pointing a gun at the twins and they're just standing there. It just felt a little off. But then we get this scene with Jimmy, and he gets a call from the Kettlemans, and again the plan went perfectly. And they're going. I love how they play this scene too, because they don't tell you right away who's calling, but you can just figure it out. And if you don't figure it out, you'll find out in the next scene anyway. So I like this. Kim's gonna come along. I think Kim in this scene, this episode's called Carrot and Stick, and Jimmy wants to be kind of the good cop. She's like the bad cop. She's using the stick. Jimmy's using the carrot. And I think that her coming along on the Kettleman thing is almost like she doesn't trust him to go as far as he needs to. So this is continuing the theme of Kim almost seems like the one who's willing to take things further, which is very interesting and not necessarily what I expected, but it's totally tracking. It makes perfect sense. So this is the meeting that I was discussing earlier, where there's a lot of tension because Mike refuses to use Nacho's father as a pawn. They want basically to use Nacho's father to intimidate Nacho into not revealing the truth, basically. We'll do something to your father. But Mike's putting his foot down. He wanted to help out Nacho and get him over here. But Gus does not think that that's the right choice. He wanted to lead the Salamancas to Nacho instead, and they want to use the father as leverage. And it's very interesting. So I'm really curious to see who is going to end up being right. But I love this standoff. Mike's like, no, we're not doing that. And, it's unresolved, basically, at this point. So I really like that amid the tension here, Gus is usually very poised. He's very deliberate about how he carries himself. And everything he does, he has this very methodological way of doing everything. And I like that due to the situation, we can see that he's on edge. He knocks this glass over, which is like so out of character for him. So it really illustrates how intense of a situation this really is. And I like that. And then it ends up in a standoff situation, and Nacho ends up calling Mike right at this moment, and then he wants to talk to Gus. So that's that. I love that scene. It's full attention. I'm just really curious to see how it goes. And now in this scene, we got Jimmy trying to buy off the Kettlemans. He's trying to give them money in exchange for not telling Howard about how they're trying to besmirch his name. I like that the Kettlemans actually figure out what their scheme is, and they're trying to defame Howard, and they realize that. I actually like that for once. They're do something somewhat smart. But it turns out that, of course, this is a tax fraud scheme, and Kim halfway through decides enough of trying to play the nice route. We're going to threaten them, and she calls a friend, a connection that she has at the IRS, and tells them about the scheme where basically they give their customers false tax returns and then pocket a lot of the money, whereas they are owed more money, but they pocket the money without the consent of their customers. So again, they're breaking the law. They can't play it straight, no matter how hard they try. And I love these characters, and I'm just glad we had an excuse to bring them back. But of course, Kim is basically Breaking Bad, of course. Not that she's already broken bad at this point, but even more bad. And Jimmy's really not comfortable with it. You can see when they leave this building, Jimmy's face right here is very much uncomfortable with how Kim is acting. He does not like to see this side of her, which, I suppose in a way makes him a hypocrite. But I think he did like how previously you could see the trouble on his face, right? But previously he kind of liked how she went along with him on this scheme stuff for fun. That's the whole cork thing that we saw in the previous episode. He likes that dynamic, but he doesn't like her going even further than where he went. So I like this inner conflict in their relationship. He's really not comfortable with the situation, and I really like that. And you could see her body language here. She's really liking that their plan worked. She's really feeling like the lady in charge. And I said in my trailer reaction, they have this shot, and I was like, she's the lady in charge. This body language here speaks volumes. And again, just great directing. Vince Gilligan killing it with the directing, man. He's been doing amazing. He's just a director on the show now, which I think is interesting. Peter Gould is the showrunner for this show. So I really am impressed with the directing as always. And then they pull away from here, and I realized that, hey, my friend had a car just like Jimmy's right now. And then right as they pull off, we see a mysterious car following them. And I would speculate, and I'm fairly certain, that this is police or something investigating Jimmy for the Lalo case thing that happened in the previous episode with the investigators, the prosecutors, that know that he's lying, and when he lets slip the Lalo thing, they know what's really going on. So I think that's who this is. If you guys have a different theory, let me know. I'm just I'm like a 99% sure that this is like law enforcement of some sort, keeping eyes on Jimmy, and this is going to be a continuing dilemma for Jimmy going forward this season. And so far, I'm loving this. This episode is amazing. It feels like a Breaking Bad episode with how much suspense there is. The fact we have a shootout. The fact we got the twins in here. We got so much with Gus and Mike. It just feels like a Breaking Bad episode, and it's amazing, and I love it. And I'm so excited that this show's back, guys. I can't believe that there's only 8 episodes after this. It's like, no, I want the show to go on for infinity, but I'm excited to see how it ends. I cannot wait. It's been an amazing ride, no matter what happens. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Definitely hit the like if you like, and sub for more Better Call Saul recaps. And we also do other things, like we do Walking Dead reviews of the TV shows and the comics and stuff. So you can definitely check that out, and we review other stuff too, video games, and cover all kinds of stuff. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, definitely keep it locked on Shook Earth Media. But thanks for watching, everybody. I hope to see you in the next video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.